and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all. I'm blickety black, blacker than black, black, I'm blacker than black, yo, because I'm black and I'm back. Yo, I'm black and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all. It's St. Louis.
Welcome to the A-Train Show. And now here's your host, the A-Train, Arlington Lane.
Yeah, true chatter. Yeah, I think it's time for more true chatter. Born every day 100
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this edition of the A-Train Show, the A-Train in Arlington Lane, bringing it back to you here again here on Facebook, YouTube, and on X. You can also stream us live currently right now on Twitch. You can go to twitch.com/XFanShow. You can also check us out simulcast on, like I say, on Twitter or X, whichever you want, on XFan Show as well. You can always catch us on YouTube at A-Train Show and on Facebook.com/the A-Train Show. All right. The Reverend Doctor will be here when he can get here. I do have a special guest, and they'll be on their way shortly. We hope. As a matter of fact, give me just a second. And be right back. Back up and running. Sometimes little snafus happen along the way, and that was one of them. All right. First off, I gotta give a shout out to the University of Connecticut women's basketball team after what they were to annihilate the University of South Carolina in the national championship. Wasn't even a game. Like, what in the world just happened? And I just got a post from the good Reverend Doctor that he will be in just a moment. And UConn showcased why it's the most dominant school in women's basketball, winning another national title, 82-59 on Sunday. Yeah, you see, I'm still wearing my Texas stuff because shout out to Coach Sidney Carter, probably one of the most fashionable assistant coaches on the planet. And, you know, I would have loved to seen her in the national title game, but they ran into a good South Carolina team on Friday. But here on Sunday, South Carolina ran into a group known as Paige Beckers and Company. And they won another national championship. Paige got hers. So the story remains here, folks. I'm going to need y'all to understand that Paige Bueckers was before Caitlin Clark. Had that not been for an injury, you wouldn't even be mentioning the name Caitlin Clark right now. And you could think I'm taking this as a political stance or whatever. Do it as you may. But both of those girls are white at the end of the day. And Paige was a better baller than Caitlin Clark. And Paige is showcased that. And it's going to be very interesting to see when she comes out and she plays in her rookie season in the WNBA, where that attraction is going to be. Because believe it or not, she's going to be a major attraction as well in the W. So all the best success to Paige Bueckers and definitely with the UConn team. Speaking of the men's Final Four, it was probably the last two games of the Final Four probably will be the most memorable of the entire tournament. Of course, with Houston winning on Saturday in dramatic fashion, a lot of people question a lot of that game itself, but they pulled out a big one over Duke, made this guy very happy, and then to turn around and lose the national championship to Florida in practically the same manner in the way that they did on Monday night. Had a big lead, a double-digit lead, and then gave it up, and they lost. So it's almost, for Duke fans, you got what you wanted. You got what you wanted on that. And so it's crazy how that translated on last night. And I'm sitting back like, come on, man, are you serious right now? And I watched the ending of that game, and I'm sitting there looking at I think it was Sharp, and he couldn't grab the ball. And I'm like, why you not touching it? Come to find out, he had made a pass and he couldn't catch it. And so he let the ball just go. And like the rest of the University of Houston team is sitting there looking like deer in headlights. What just happened? They couldn't believe it themselves. And by that time, Florida recovered and they won the national title. It was almost like ingenious. And the way that the game was being played, it looked like it was really headed towards Houston. And I'm sitting there and I'm at work. Mind you, it was busy too. Every so often I would catch the game and see what was going on. It was a big game of runs. And I knew when it got to about 12 points, I said, there ain't no way that Houston's going to keep that lead. And they're going to make some silly shots up, and they're going to remain with the lead. And man, I couldn't have been more prophetic in the way that was going down. Couldn't have been. And lo and behold, here we are on Monday night, and Florida is the national champion. Yeah, good little movie. That thing was just, I don't know. I don't know what to say anymore. I do have, like I said, I do have a special guest. We wait on his arrival, so he'll be here when he gets here. I think he was on foot when I was last checking in, so he's getting to a safe area where he was able to jump in on the program. All right. We'll talk a little bit more about the NCAA championship when he arrives. Speaking of which, today marks the 51st anniversary of Henry Aaron's 715th home run done against the Los Angeles Dodgers on pitcher Al Downing. So the crazy thing about this is because a black pitcher is the person that served up his 715th home run, which at the time broke Babe Ruth's record for most home runs in a career. And if you ever heard the story about Henry Aaron and the path towards 715 and how much hatred that he had received, it may not shock you. It may shock you, but I don't think it will shock you because this was a gentleman who was probably one of the nicest gentlemen in the game of baseball, that excelled at the sport to its highest peak. This was a gentleman who never reached in his career 50 home runs in a season. That's how good of a hitter he really was. And so getting to this place where he in 1974, nobody expected him to reach that mark. And so because a lot of people felt like Babe Ruth was their hero, that they wanted him to be the guy to reach the mark. Good afternoon, Sandy. So Henry Aaron, as you can see, there's the photo. That was at the old, believe it or not, that was the old Atlanta Fulton County Stadium in Atlanta. Now what sits there is for Georgia State University, their stadium for their football team. And that's Turner Field. And it's actually across the street. That's now a parking lot. So, but yeah, he hit it there, 715, and broke Babe Ruth's record of home runs in a career. And he wound up with 755, and that was broken by Barry Bonds in 2007. And right now he sits as the top of the home run lead at 762. All right. So I wanted to make sure I got that in. Ladies and gentlemen, my guest has arrived, and I want to bring him in at this time. He has a mini docuseries coming out on this Thursday. And I wanted to bring him in and talk a little bit about it. One of the things, it is near and dear to my heart because I'm such a big fan of the person we're going to discuss. And so, ladies and gentlemen, back on the program once again here on the A Train Show is the one and only Scoop B Robinson of Scoop B Radio. What's good, sir? How are you?
I'm good. Happy Tuesday. I'm good. How are you?
Man,
Can you hear me?
I'm good, and I'm grateful that you're able to stop by. Yes, I can. I can hear you very well.
Cool.
Thumbs up. All right. And I got to catch you on the Fox affiliate in Chicago, and you were talking about a new docu-series that you want to discuss. You want to tell my viewers what that entails?
Yeah, it's a mini docu-series I'm dropping on Thursday on my YouTube channel. You can check it out. Subscribe at Scoopy TV on YouTube. It's called Scoopy Originals Presents The Freeze Out. And it's basically looking at the 1985 NBA All-Star Game, East and West, and, analyzing the game in which people believe that Michael Jordan was frozen out by veterans on that team, which include Isaiah Thomas, as well as Larry Bird and Dr. J and others who were on that team. It's analyzing it. I've done some extensive research over the last 5 years and, got in my creative bag and put something together.
So, this has been 40 years since that happened. So what made you decide that you wanted to do a piece focused on that particular moment in time in our NBA history?
So it really started because I was in the summertime. I was interviewing Dominique Wilkins, and I asked him about the freeze-out game. I was like, "Were you there?" He was like, "He was there. He didn't play, but he was there participating All-Star Weekend." And when I asked him, he kind of he took a step back, and and then I brought him back in, and I basically said, "Hey, would you like to see, there's some type of resolution there?" And he said, "Yeah, but you never know." So I put out the interview and put it on my YouTube channel and wrote about it. And the YouTube numbers did crazy. Even the article that I wrote, I think that article in and of itself did like a day, 80,000 views, the written article. And then the video, I backlinked it to my article, and it did fairly well. And I was like, wow, like this is interesting. And so you go back into your reporter notebook and all the different things, interviews that I've done with people, you start to put stuff together. You know, I've spoken with John Sally about this before. I've spoken to Isaiah about it. I've spoken to a myriad of other people. I got a phone call from someone. I don't want to give the whole doc away, but that had some information. I know somebody that knows somebody on a various front. So just the mystique to the freeze-out game just began to be interesting based off of numbers and people's interests. And I said, you know, maybe I can put something together. So this was around November, December, when I wrote the article about Dominique and put the interview out and his commentary. He talked about some other things as well, but that particular article just did so well. It's still being written about by various publications, and I put it together. So I put a documentary, mini doc together. It's about 20 to 30 minutes in length, just analyzing it and weighing the pros and cons. Made a couple extra phone calls with some folks, some retired players who played in it, spoke to somebody close to the scene, and here we go. Scoopy Originals presents The Freeze Out. Drops Thursday on YouTube, Scoopy TV, and check it out.
Are we gonna get so basically this is like saying all the rumors are true here, or this is just to give just basic insight on what could have happened that day, or that crazy date, or that weekend of
insight into the game, background, what people saw, and how that tied into what ultimately began to be the Pistons going from dominant forces in the East to the Bulls taking that baton, and it also analyzes the actual game. Ralph Sampson had 24 points, 10 rebounds in that game, and was a force in that game. And in today's NBA, when we look at Wemby and some of the other folks that are there, we because of injuries and more, we may gloss over that. Bill Russell saw the potential that Sampson had, and has commented in the past on his potential. So it was also a homecoming of sorts for Isaiah and for Larry Bird. That game was at Hoosier Dome. Of course, Isaiah playing for the University of Indiana, and Larry Bird being from French Lick, Indiana. That gets lost in translation. All of that, 40,000 fans at the Hoosier Dome. Ralph Sampson playing a solid game, and a young Michael Jordan, who was a rookie at the time, going, I believe, 2 for 9, 7 points. And it just analyzes all of the background while also delving into what ultimately became a Pistons-Bulls rivalry, a Michael-Isaiah rivalry. And we try to get you a quick sermon in and out of church within 20 to 30 minutes.
Yes, sir. Because one of the things that I remember, there was a book a long time ago. One was featured on Michael. I think it's called The Love of the Game. And it was right after Mike's second retirement with the Chicago Bulls. Mm-hmm. And there was everything drawn, and it was mentioned about the 85 All-Star game. And he was like, at the time, of course, Nike had did that big campaign for him. If you haven't seen the movie Air, which is actually a pretty decent film about the background of what led to probably the biggest shoe. No, not probably, but the biggest shoe in the history of shoes and athletics. It's a compelling story, good dramatic story for sure. With Matt Damon playing Sonny Vaccaro. But the thing about it was Nike had built this whole big campaign around him. And at the time, he was an unproven rookie. And they was like, well, hey, if anything does happen with your shoes and the NBA gets a hold of it, we'll take care of it. Mm-hmm. And then he broke out with the Nike sweats at the All-Star weekend at the Market Square Arena. And, I heard that some players were not too thrilled with, and he was coming out looking like this, and he had gold chains on his neck, and so was that part of that? Is that going to be part of the documentary?
We touch on it, and from the conversations that I've had with guys on that team, was they weren't really concerned with Mike because they had their own thing going on. Like, he was a young guy, yes, and he was on the come up, but he was kind of looked at like Wemby. And you had Bird and Dr. J, who were part of that Celtics Sixers rivalry at that point. And this would be an accurate comparison, but this is the only way I can probably illustrate it. Mercedes and BMW at that point wasn't necessarily checking for Lexus, even though Lexus was a good car. They're just in their own lane. At the time, Michael was a Lexus, and he worked his way up to a Maybach. It was a natural progression to what the NBA landscape is. Like, if I could use a comparison, it was kind of like when the Spurs lost to, or rather when the Spurs beat the Cavaliers in the 2007 NBA Finals, there was a whole conversation with Tim Duncan and LeBron, and Tim Duncan basically said, thanks for this is going to be your league in a few years, but thanks for giving us, this win this year. And it was kind of like that, where there was a passing of a baton that naturally happens. Like, you saw it with Michael when Isaiah got older and had injuries. You saw it when Magic Johnson had to retire, when Bird had back injuries, when the Dream Team happened. There was a natural progression. And at that point in 85, Michael was a rookie. Mm-hmm. You had more seasoned guys like Dr. J, Bird, even Kareem Abdul-Jabbar played on the Western Conference team in the All-Star game. And I think at that point he had been in the league 14 years. So I think there was a recognition that that's who he was. But what I did find interesting in my discovery was that in 1985, 40 years ago, when that game happened, that was kind of the catalyst for what you see in All-Star games now. And most guys just showed up to the game, played, and went home. It was a party within a function that began in 85, where you had marketing, you had the Nike dollars, you had the ad placement, where when you watch the game, it was constant. It was a few more than a few times Michael's sneaker being shown in a close-up shot. There was just consistent movement and moving pieces in there that you could kind of see where that puzzle was ultimately going towards. But you still had the old guard who was more than healthy and capable of carrying the league. So I think you saw this young guy coming, but he wasn't looked at as NBA champion Michael Jordan. He was a guy that was young, that was on the come up, and he still had to build his brand and develop wins and string wins. And the following year, he scored 63 points in the playoffs against the Boston Celtics.
Yep. Yeah, and I think that's what I was always intrigued about Mike's story. And when I heard about this particular moment, I was like, is there some truth? I did some digging myself on it. And you had mentioned about Ralph Sampson, who was the previous year. He was the number one overall pick for the Houston Rockets. And of course, this was the year Hakeem was the number one pick. And even, I don't think he wasn't selected. Mike had the accolades leading up to that point. And of course, everybody knows he was Rookie of the Year at the end of the season. But my thing was, Michael was the attention grabber. And that's what caught everybody. And like you saying, it wasn't there just yet, a passing of the torch that you mentioned, but it was gaining traction.
It's funny. Michael was actually Allen Iverson back then, but differently. The different color shoes, that was different. Converse was really running things before Nike took over. The wetsuits, and that attracted the eyes of the neighborhood medicine man. That attracted the cool kids, the athletes. Like, they wanted to wear something that was different. And comparatively, when Allen came into the league and was wearing Reebok and just was countercultural, Michael was just countercultural different. And when he became the face, he leveled up the suits. And also David Stern and David Falk worked in tandem in their own way. David Stern had inherited a league that was almost bankrupt in '79, and Bird and Magic saved the league. And then Stern looked into global expansion. I mean, to the point where there were differences in philosophies that even David Stern and Dr. J had on just the way things were going as far as global expansion. So Michael was like the golden goose that really boosted ratings, boosted apparel, and more. So, you know, it came at the right time. And I think when you watch the documentary, you'll see in conversations with a particular person where you could see that clashing took place, or that I don't know if it's clashing or alignment, but where Michael's agent, you know, wasn't a fan of Isaiah, and there was something there. I don't want to give it away because I want y'all to watch it, but
yeah, I'm definitely gonna do that.
You'll see where that all makes sense.
I'm almost gonna have to. I want to premiere it on the show and just play it for 30 minutes, just for the sake of it. But I'm not gonna do you like that. I want people to actually go out and check it themselves and go it out. So the Freeze Out mini docu-series, you check it out April 10th, and it's on your YouTube channel. Is that correct?
Scoop B TV.
All right. So Scoop B, thank you so much, man. I just wanted you to hop on and talk a bit about that, because that's one of the things that is near and dear to my heart. Is I love being a fan of Michael Jordan.
Yes, sir.
As long as I can remember, man, as long as I've been able to watch the game of basketball, of course, that's been my guy. I always look to when I was watching games, and it reminded me of the NBA on NBC so much and so heavy. And with this NBA on NBC coming back, it's going to be interesting to see what plays out. I'm still rooting for you to be an insider, sir, for NBC, because I think you can bring a lot to the table. One of my favorite guys that was able to bring the truth out like that was Peter Besson. And when he was there with NBA on NBC, he was the insider. And I feel like you are the same, as in getting the news out there and bringing the truth value to it. And you know, I'm your biggest fan. I don't care what anybody say. I'm your biggest fan, man.
Well, I appreciate that, and that's quite a compliment. I know Peter very well, and we don't always agree on things, but he's always a phone call away. And I grew up watching Peter and admiring his work. He didn't have the best relationships with everybody, and you learn from the triumphs of people, and you learn things that they do that maybe weren't agreeable, and try to make your own way as well. So, you know, Peter is somebody that's, you know, an NBA lifer, and you know, I have nothing but respect and praise for him. NBC is an iconic network, and your manifestation in a lot of ways, I'll just say, you're a prophet. That's all I'll say on the matter right now.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate you, man. And we'll touch base, especially when we get off here, man. So I know you got something for me. I'm not asking no NBA stuff today. I just want to focus on this docu-series, and I want to make sure that you tune in to that. And Thursday, April 10th, Scoop B TV's YouTube channel. And I'll post it on my page just because he's my guy, man. So I do appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
All right, y'all. Scoop B, he's on his way out, man. I appreciate you, dude. And
my man.
Yeah, and you keep on doing the damn thing, man.
Yes, sir. You too.
All right. Appreciate that.
All right, brother. I'll talk to you.
Yes, sir. That is Scoop B, ladies and gentlemen. There it is, the Freeze Out, the mini docu-series, Thursday, April 10th on Scoop B TV's YouTube channel. I think he's dropping it around 11, 12 o'clock. So just make sure you are tuned in to that. I'm very captivated on seeing what this is all about. Anytime I will hear any story about what's going on with Michael Jordan, there's little insight. I know The Last Dance spoke about it a bit, but it never was a focus. But this here is a focus. And so hearing that, I'm really captivated in seeing and hearing what all of that tuned into. I did see Doc come in. Doc did come in. We'll see if he can come back. Yeah, because I want to get in, definitely want to get into this whole ordeal with WWE. Because, man, things are heating up, and I love every bit of it. Folks, if you get an opportunity, you go to facebook.com/A-Train Show and tune in right now. You can go to youtube.com/@A-Train Show if you're tuning in there. If you're tuning in on Twitter, twitter.com/XFan Show, and then we're on twitch.com/XFan Show. All right. And you know what? It is amazing. He said, wow, I never knew. Yeah, exactly, man. And, I follow Mike. I followed Mike, and so cool. You catch it on Thursday for sure for his documentary. I'm gonna post it on the Facebook page, and I'll post it on my YouTube. On my Twitter page, and you can check that out at twitter.com/XFan. A-Train Show. I got a lot of pages where you can catch it. If you can't see it, I guarantee you, I will make sure that you find it. All right. So yeah, a lot of good insight here. I was very intrigued about that because it was Michael Jordan's rookie season. And a lot of people, again, know everything between now and 2008, pre-social media era. Could you imagine if that was during social media times, 84, 85, and that blew up the way that it did? It would have been bananas. You can only imagine. And then you seeing him go, him being the youngest person out there, 21 years of age, and he's out there with these legends and stuff. It was like you hear it all the time. It was a passing of the torch. And so, yeah, it was fantastic, man. And to actually see that, watch highlights of it. Sometimes they put the full games out so you can see everything as it happened on network. And at the time, CBS was doing the All-Star games, especially in the 80s, as they were building on that rivalry with Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. And Captivate, if you ever heard about the story about Mike didn't participate the next year. He was there in Seattle, was in Chicago and Houston for those All-Star games. He performed very well in Chicago. In Chicago, he won the MVP with a 40-point performance. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to this. Like I'm a little excited about it. So, the freeze out once again, April 10th on Scoopy TV YouTube channel. All right, let me get into this. Let me get into this wrestling thing. This wrestling thing I love so much. So I watched Friday Night SmackDown. Y'all, this legitimately has soap opera written all over it. It's a complete soap opera. And if you watch soap operas, you don't mind watching a primetime soap opera, whether it's on the USA Network or you're watching it on Netflix. It's no different. It's live and in front of 18,000 people. That's just the difference. It just is what it is at the time. You know what I mean? So, yeah. He's here, ladies and gentlemen. And I know where he at, too. He's doing his due diligence. That's what he's doing. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the doctor's in the house.
What's up? I'm here, y'all. I tried to jump in a few minutes ago, but man,
I understand, man. That
we're working.
Yeah, you working.
I'm working, man. It's working, man.
Let's get into it, man.
What's good?
I had to give my shout out to Florida and UConn men's and women's. I was hurt by the Houston game. So this
Yeah,
the reset.
I was a little upset about that. That turnover was critical. Me and the electrician, the technician that's here, we was just talking about that a few seconds ago. Had it not been for that turnover, Houston could have done a wonderful job with maintaining their composure, because had he held that, not went into that double team, it'd have been a different ball game. Totally different ball game. It broke
But
his heart, broke his spirit. It just messed up everything. Yeah.
and not only that, they pulled a Duke from Saturday. And I'm sitting there and I sat there and I was like, I'm watching as much as I could watch the game. It was up with double digits themselves.
Yeah.
And they started taking silly shots, making silly turnovers. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
man.
this is Duke all over again.
All over again. So yeah, it was just a bad little piece. Anyway, I'm over it.
Yes.
I'm over it. Let's see what these Rockets gonna do, because they beat OKC the other night.
Wait, before we move on, I'm sitting there. You gonna see my face looking at this is how I looked at the game.
I'm gonna tell you what I did when I saw it.
I shut it off.
I said, oh, come on. Never mind. Don't worry about it. I ain't on point. When I saw after that turnover, he put his head down. I said he heartbroken.
Yeah, because he felt like he ruined it.
They were up a point. I'm like, you still up. Play defense, get the ball back. Made a silly foul. He missed one, make one. It was almost kind of like we were, scrambling and scavenging for points. And instead of just going to the hole like they've been doing, they just wanted to try to shoot these threes. I'm like, don't try to end it. Let's go on in. Let's put some points on the board. We can go into this OT and let's work this OT game.
And I'm sitting there, I was like, dude, you still got a chance. Let's go.
Yeah, it was sad. I was heartbroken. I was very heartbroken behind it. And I think I almost punched myself in the eye. That's why it's a little swole right now. I was like, scratched myself right in the eyelid. Uh-huh. Okay. 1 second, sir.
Okay. I'm sorry, man. Just had a whole moment just trying to figure out what just happened, yo. Just lost myself on the page, but I'm back. I'm up and running. I'm still moving. But yeah, I was very intrigued by that game, and I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it, man. But the game is the game. It is what it is, and I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel bad. I feel bad for the city of Houston. You know what? It's like it's bad, but it ain't as bad as it could have been. I get it. It was their first opportunity for a national championship win, and it was really looking good because the momentum was on their side after that big win against Duke, and they beat themselves. The same way I'm feeling like what Duke did, Duke beat themselves. Duke beat themselves in the last minute, and it was just like the experience, the moment got too big for the University of Houston, and they lost out on that opportunity. And so yeah, I'm feeling some type of way about that. I really am. All right, you back. Okay.
Yeah, I'm back, man. You know,
I'm feeling some type of way about it.
We got 50,000 projects happening. Me and being here with the AT&T technician, and we trying to run wires and cable and yeah, just pray for me, okay? You know, yeah, yeah. My job is never done, sir. You already know
Yeah,
this.
I already know that. I already know that, sir.
Yeah, my job. I got
Probably-
paint on my hands because we've been painting, and yeah, we just trying to. This is resurrection, the road to resurrection time. So,
Yeah.
we trying to prepare for productions and lighting and cameras and
Oh, you doing the whole nine. You doing the whole nine for this go round, man. Yeah.
yeah.
So wait a minute, you trying to top what you did last year?
Yeah. We got the LED. We got the LED wall popping, and we got
Yeah, see that,
graphics.
yes.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
gonna be dope. It's gonna be bananas crazy this time.
Yeah.
Lighting gonna be flying everywhere. We gonna think we in heaven for real.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm
Yes,
trying
sir.
to make
Yes,
it. I'm trying to make it so graphically dope this year. So the moment they see like the devil pop up, the whole entire sanctuary gonna go red and black. It's gonna look so dope. Some people gonna get scared. They ain't come back to church. They ain't gonna come back to church Sunday.
They'll be back. They'll be back.
They be like,
oh,
they got demons in there. They got demons and devils up in that place. Pray for it. Pray for it, bro.
Speaking of which, a lot of that has been going on now in pro wrestling. And we sitting there looking around. So the title of my thing is Should I Believe? This has nothing to do with my special guest. This has everything to do with one man only.
Who is that?
His name is Kevin Owens. Because, brother, when he sat there and made that announcement, you call me whatever you
The
want.
question is, do you believe him?
You
Do
call me
you
heartless.
believe him?
You call me heartless. You call me you call me every other name in the book, everything but a child of God. But I'm telling you right now, I don't believe him. Nope.
So I'm gonna tell you, I almost do. This time I almost do. Let me tell you why. Monday night, Michael Cole and
Pat McAfee, yeah.
Pat Mack,
Mm-hmm.
the way they sounded and if you still didn't believe it, okay, well, praise the Lord. We're gonna move right along.
Listen, because they all part of the stick.
I don't think so, though. I don't think they are, though. I don't think they
see, and hold on now. They'll give them the effect that that's what's going on, but they may not know what the backstory is because only a few people will know what's going on.
That's why I said I don't really think they would know. I got my left eye on. This is my right eye, but my left eye. That's why I'm saying I'm gonna be left eye for the day and be right eye.
Let's start to go down. Get closed on you.
Yeah, it looked like it's trying to close on me, man. I took my finger and poked myself right in the eyeball. Like what? I would go blind the day we on the air, huh?
Listen, let me
the day we go live, we go blind. That's so sad.
I've been trying to play with my eyes for the last 30 minutes, man.
You better stop it, Reb. You're gonna be like me. You're gonna be right-eyed.
Right, it is my left eye that's bothering me too.
See, your left eye. All right, you go ahead. All right, you're gonna be Bumblebee on that eye. Be slow.
This is the A Train Show, ladies and gentlemen, Tuesday. And I asked the question, should I believe him? Should I believe Kevin Owens? And right now the answer is no. No.
I don't know, man. Look, I'm on the fence.
Everything looks so cool. I
heard a rumor though. You might like this rumor.
I like it too. I like it good.
Rumors are spreading that Randy Orton does have an opponent for WrestleMania. And it won't be KO. And it won't be Sami Zayn.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be Aleister Black.
See, look. That joker too soon, yo. But okay.
All right. But this is gonna be the pop to it. he's gonna have to show up this Friday instead, because it's gonna be like out of the blue sneak attack, dark sinister. Yeah,
You know how them pages been flipping, they starting to write this stuff together, typing this stuff out and whatnot, trying to put it all together so quick.
Yep. You're gonna have to speed it up and put him in the match, because Randy is deserving of another. I believe this is gonna probably be, if this year is gonna be next year, it's gonna be his last year. And he may go on to another year, because to give this year to John Cena as the retiring. But it's gonna happen within this year to next year. It's gonna happen, because Randy's body is giving up. You know, it's other things that are coming up that he's getting ready to do, getting back into a couple of movies I heard he was getting ready to stick into. So I believe it's gonna happen. But to give him this WrestleMania, I do believe it's gonna be Aleister Black.
All right. I guess I just don't have to leave it at that. Leave it as such. Okay.
We'll see. We don't know. We still a week away.
Yeah. And I think also what I seen on Monday was Jey Uso, a different Jey Uso. Jey Uso coming in all black and didn't even yeet.
He's getting the title. He's getting the title now.
He did catapult himself a bit higher with that promo he cut. And the fact that he did a whole 180, he didn't get angry, and he just sat there. See, that's the crap that my father would do with me. He used to do with me when I was younger. Instead of talking, just get angry. Just yell at me. I yell, and I'm down with it. When you sit there talking to me, you talking down on me, yo.
I love it.
Gunther down several.
I love every ounce of it, buddy.
He brought him down several levels, yo. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, you start questioning Gunther. It's like,
I said it. I said if he finds a way to make it matter and make it count, he's gonna win this title. They're gonna give him that title together.
And he did. He did just that.
So they're gonna give it to him.
When he went after his mama, when he went after his mother, I said, have mercy.
They got that movie stuff. They got to hear them.
Okay, so all right, we're gonna try to make this as quick as possible, get you out of here by the top of the hour. So yeah, but yeah, that was the whole thing with the Uso thing, and I was like, he got him with the mom. The mom hit. So you got a mama? Like, oh
yeah.
I think you're ready for him.
Hey, hold on. Give me a second.
Yes, sir. He'll be back. But the thing with the mother impact, that he slowed it down, and you had Gunther listen. Now, a guy like Gunther to listen to that, to throw a word, you know, when you hear either a buzzword or you hear a word that can hit you, that you stand there, you're gonna listen. Either you're gonna listen or you're gonna turn and walk away. He couldn't help himself, but he turned, so he listened. And then Gunther telling him this stuff. I'm sorry, Jey Uso telling Gunther this stuff. And he had him. He got him in the palm of his hand right now. Gonna make Gunther question himself and his character. And I think Gunther is doing a fantastic job portraying this type of character that he's in right now. And this is good. This is really good for business. And I hope that it's not going to be an annihilation, but I wish it was going to be a one-sided affair, but it won't be. I was just saying, I wish this was going to be a one-sided affair between Jey and Gunther, but I should get a good match out of this.
You should. It's going to be a real good match. I think it's going to be a real good match. I want to know what this card is about to look like, because again, and we see real. Real is in this match with the triple threat.
We knew this was gonna happen.
I knew it was gonna happen.
We knew this was gonna happen because, for the sake of matter, you got to understand, Rhea was owed a rematch.
Oh, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. Do you now? It's another triple threat. Bron
Yeah.
Breakker, Dominic Mysterio, and
Yeah.
Finn Balor.
And Penta
Penta is in that one.
Penta is added to that match.
Shut the front door. I didn't see that.
It's a fatal 4-way.
Oh my God, I must have missed that. I must have fell asleep or something. I dozed off. I missed that.
It's a fatal
Oh my
4-way.
God. So who wins the match now?
You ready? Are you ready for this one?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Dominic Mysterio.
They said the same thing.
Dominic
Bro,
Mysterio.
I said the same thing. I said it's funny that this feels like a Dominic Mysterio, that he's about to win this match. It's going to be a battle because Finn is going to be upset. Penta is already kind of doing this thing. I think they're going to try to eventually get Penta and his brother together at some point.
Braun is going to do something silly.
Yeah.
He's going to do something silly and cost himself the match.
Right. I think they're going to try to pull Braun into the heavyweight side at some point.
Yeah.
I think he'll end up going against
and Braun.
Yeah.
Jey Uso. He's gonna get him back.
I think that's gonna be the next piece too. I do feel that way. But man, that's crazy because I said the same thing. I said that's gonna be Dominic Mysterio is gonna win this doggone belt.
Raise
it's gonna
his
cause
hand, he's gonna get that title. It's gonna make Finn Balor mad again.
And jealous as always. And we're gonna be back.
He's gonna turn on Dom.
And this is gonna be. Wait, did you hear Adam Pearce call Rhea Ripley part of the New Day? I mean the Judgment Day.
He was in the moment. He was in the moment, yo. He was in the moment. Doc. He was in the moment. That's what that was. He was in the moment.
And then Michael Cole said, "No, I think she been gone." Man, yeah.
He was in the moment.
I'm still here, bro. Yeah.
He was in the moment, but also the thing about the Rhea Ripley thing, everybody's talking about this Bianca Belair situation, and they was like, "What's going on, Excalibur? Excalibur just tuned in, man. What's up, baby?" Everybody's looking at this Bianca Belair situation and saying, "Why are they booing her?" Because they're trying to get a heel turn out of her, and they're going to get one. They're going to get a heel turn.
You think so?
Absolutely. Yes. The heel in this match is Bianca Belair. It ain't Rhea. It ain't Io Sky.
All right.
It's Bianca. So let's get ready for it. Embrace it. Because as quiet as kept, Mad Black Woman is where we at for WWE, for their characters. Okay. One more time. Here's it. The Mad Black Woman is where we at. We getting that right now with Jade and Naomi. We getting that right now. And shout out to B-Fab. B-Fab is doing her due diligence as character-wise. She's really taking in what's going on wrestling-wise. She's trying to own her skills. And she didn't get I don't think she got the dub this week against Naomi. But still, I like what I'm seeing with her. And I'm ready to see more of her, especially with her mic skills. She's getting that all together. Jade and Naomi at WrestleMania is going to be something to catch. Ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a fabulous match. I'm hoping Naomi can help carry that match, though. Really, that's that thing. I just want to see a good story come good out of this. And wrestling matches have to close out to do this perfectly. the reason why we have that triple threat because of Io Sky. Io Sky has a rematch with Rhea has a rematch with Io Sky. Of course, Bianca earned the opportunity to do it, and the shtick that she's pulling is that Rhea is getting whatever she wants, whenever she can get it, and that is a good angle to use for this match. That is a great angle, and so because of that angle, you can make Bianca a villain here. Bianca is she's starting to, if you ain't seeing it, it's a slow build. This is a slow build to a villainess. And it's going to lead to as an angry Black woman that feel like she don't get what she deserve. And I'm hoping it don't go the same route as what happened with Sasha and Naomi. Because remember, Naomi has been in this case before and it led her actually exiting out of WWE. But they're trying to build that. So because Bianca has not been a villain on the main roster. And so that's where we're headed, is Bianca as a villainess. Rhea has done it already. Io has been there with Damage Control. And low-key, she ain't even part of Damage Control no more because of her two partners that's not even around. Kairi Sane is trying to get back. Mind you, she looks very nice as she's getting back in right now as we speak. And then to mention Asuka, that has been gone for quite a while. It's been well over a year since we last seen her. And hopefully she can get back because usually when injuries like this happen, it slows your wrestling career. But then again, it can boost it. It can boost it. But at this rate, right now, no sign of it. And this is Io's world. We just all living in it. And Dakota Kai has kind of stepped away for a bit as well. So this is Io's time. And I'm looking forward to seeing this and how much this gets pressed as we get towards WrestleMania in 11 days. 11 days, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be some show. And great, Googly Moogly, thank you. I think I know who I got that from, so I appreciate him so much for that. When you get a chance, make sure you go back and check out the interview I had with Scoop B, and it's about the Freeze Out, the mini docuseries that's checking in Thursday, April 10th on Scoop B's YouTube channel. It's about Michael Jordan getting frozen out of the 1985 NBA All-Star game. I like stuff like that. History. I love historical stuff. Historical stuff is fantastic. I love every single minute of it, and I will definitely enjoy that. And I hope Doc get a chance to see it. I'm gonna send it to him so he get a chance to look at it because we love a good documentary too. And he said, and Scoop B said, it's quick like a sermon. What type of sermon? I didn't know which sermon. But back to the story at hand with what's going on in wrestling, man. I think I've seen people angry about this whole ordeal with Black men not being featured on a WrestleMania card. All right. There are no Black man stars, and I hate to even say this on this show. I don't think there are any Black male stars right now that can lead a program. All right. There are no solo stars. They're either in tag teams or they're under mid-card status, low tier. There are nobody that can say mid-card, that they can say heavyweight status right now. And what we're going to wind up leaning towards is we're going to be leaning towards guys like Obafemi. So it's like we got to wait. I don't think Obafemi is going to be a mid-card individual. He's going to be straight up going to be a top guy once he hits the main roster. And I don't think he should do it this year. But knowing WWE, they will rush him. when he ain't supposed to be, because me personally, I don't believe Gunther should have been on the main roster so quick or even had a title on his, could have had a strap yet. But they gave it to him. You know what I'm saying? So here we are. So I think Obafemi is going to be that black man with solo status. So you just gotta wait for it, man. Just wait. It'll be there. Just right now, it's not that time. Man, I can't even get into everything I wanted to discuss because we had a good time with Scoop B Robinson. So right now, as we're looking at WrestleMania 41, we got several matches. Ooh, just looking at the list. Good. So Rey Mysterio against Chad Gable, El Grande Americano is what we're looking at. That's one of them. Braun Breaker versus Penta versus Finn Balor versus Dominic for the Intercontinental Championship. Jade Cargill versus Naomi. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez against whoever wins the gauntlet match on SmackDown this Friday. LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu for the WWE US title. AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. Io, Bianca, and Rhea for the Women's World Championship. Gunther versus Jey Uso. Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair. Roman versus Punk versus Seth Rollins. And then Cody Rhodes versus John Cena. So you're looking at that. I think we almost done with the matches. I think we're going to have they usually have 12 on the card for WrestleMania, and those get broken up into 2 nights. Of course, we know that Roman, CM Punk, and Seth Rollins closes out night 1, and John Cena and Cody Rhodes closes out night number 2. The question is going to become whether Cena shows up. When The Rock shows up for Cena at night 2. And the question is going to become for night 1 to see what's going to happen with Randy Orton. Got Randy Orton, his cancel match. I think that's the last match they're going to put on. I don't think they're going to do for anything past 12 matches. All right. So we're looking at 6 on one night, 6 on another. If they go past that, now is the time to know between now and April 19th on Easter weekend. I will want to celebrate the good Lord Jesus Christ getting from under the borrowed tomb. This is on Easter weekend. Like, H, what you doing, bro? Paul, what you doing, man? You schedule this on a freaking Easter weekend, man. What's wrong with you? All right. I'm in overtime. I'm ready to leave. I got places to go and people to see. All right. Thank the Reverend Doc for coming in and chiming in a bit. He's gonna be mad because I'm about to close this bad boy out. Thanks for everybody tuning in. Thanks for seeing my special guest, Scoop B Robinson, and hop in and touch a bit about his docuseries. Make sure you check it out. April 10th on Scoop B YouTube channel. All right, and thank you to fans that jumped in, chimed in, and showed me love. I appreciate that. I will catch you next time for another edition of the A Train Show.